Now, as a new generation of Americans come of age and as those around us look to explore and find a significant other, the days of just meeting randomly at a bar or through a friend or at church, a place of worship, those days have sort of revolutionized with the use of technology. Now we have online matchmaking companies filling that role, and they are so popular that some of these companies like Match Group, Bumble, or even Grindr right here at the New York Stock Exchange, yes, they're publicly traded companies. But although those companies do serve their specific roles, there's apparently a sector that's been largely ignored, well, until now. That's the non-monogamous matchmaking sector. And that's where this woman comes in. Daniella Guimaraes, the founder of Velvet Ties, a pioneering non-monogamous matchmaking agency based right here out of the United States. But don't let me tell you about her agency. Let's hear what Velvet Ties is all about directly from Daniella.
Velvet Ties is the pioneering non-monogamous matchmaking agency in the US. So we're actually the first ones to do somewhat what a traditional matchmaking agency does, but with an alternative relationship dynamics twist. So anywhere between monogamish and fully polyamorous is kind of the people we cater to. Monogamish are people that enjoy having a very strong primary partnership, but either enjoy playing together or giving hall passes once in a while. So you don't have multiple strong emotional relationships with other people. That's just one with your primary, the person you live with. You get married, have children with that one person, but you can have some sexual encounters here and there with whatever rules the couples define.
So this is an interesting subject, one that's foreign to many of us, I'm sure, definitely foreign to me. So I want to know, how does the Velvet Ties matchmaking agency even work? Is this similar to an app? Is it a classic approval-based agency? How do you get and sort out these clients? For details on that, we go straight back to Daniella.
Well, I think the first distinction, it's not an app. It's a white glove service, which means I'm fully involved in every client vetting, every matchmaking. It's very one-to-one, high touch. I do curate everyone. It's membership-based, so you have to apply, preferably with a reference for more chances to be accepted. And I judge everything between character. Looks is more of, do you match what other clients are looking for? So I don't discriminate in any way. I accept people that I find that the other members would be interested in. So I have the most simple one is you want to just come and hang out. You're not ready for a full matchmaking service. I have the event tiers, which gives you special pricing to events, exclusive events for members only, like we're doing. We're bringing 20 people to Brazil for New Year's and the most amazing house. So that's a members only. So that you would get access to that with the event tier. Then we have casual matchmaking, which is pretty much a glorified dating app. There's no app, it's still one-to-one, but you're not being matched for life partnerships. Instead, you're being matched for ongoing, casual, high-quality relationships, but without commitment, no pressure to get married or have children. And then the most traditional one is the committed, but still non-monogamous. Everything's absolutely confidential. So if you're a client, I'll sign you up, I'll get all the information. If you don't want anything typed on my computer, I can do everything by hand on my notebook, so there's no risk of hacking, anything like that. All my events are no phone events, strict no phone policy. There's no photos, no videos, anything like that. And I only share whatever information you're comfortable with me sharing for potential partners of yours. So it's really, again, one-to-one. We decide together what's the best option and follow that pretty well. I really, really value my own privacy, so I value my clients as well.
So I had to ask the important question, the roots of Velvet Ties. How does such a company come about? And what made yourself, Daniella, pioneer a non-monogamous matchmaking agency here in the United States?
So I've actually identified as non-monogamous since I was about 15 years old. And it took me over 10 years to have my first non-monogamous relationship, where it was like full disclosure, great communication, and I'm monogamish. And it's just so fulfilling to have someone who really understands you and wants the same lifestyle. So I decided to make it easy for other people so they didn't have to wait 10 years between discovering that's something they wanted and being able to have it.
Now, obviously, not everyone is going to be on board with the idea of a non-monogamous matchmaking agency. And nowadays, keyboard warriors, they take to social media to share their disdain, their dislike. Now, I had to question, how does one handle such backlash regarding running a non-monogamous matchmaking agency? Because it's got to be heavy at times.
So I have gotten backlash from people that aren't clients, more of a discrimination towards non-monogamy in general. That's the only backlash I've gotten, or for monogamous people that don't quite understand what we're about, right? I'm not forcing non-monogamy on anyone. I believe that monogamy can be right for so many people. So people that have that negative feedback think it's a free-for-all and it's not safe, and that's just not true. The way to address that negativity is really with information, because I feel like once people understand it, they're like, oh, okay, this is not really what I imagined. This is more organized. There's rules. There's, consent. There's protection. I think it's worth noting that, monogamy started when we lived up to 30 and 40 years. Now we're living 80, 90, 100. So relationships dynamics have changed a lot, and people, are still discovering how to make relationships work for that long. It's like you said, I'm not forcing this on anyone. People come to me. I'm not going to monogamous couples and saying, hey, I think you should do this. No, it's people come to me saying, hey, I have curiosity about this. Can you help me open up my relationship? And I think the trick to that is doing everything very slowly. So nobody gets, flooded with something and then retreats. So I think safety is very important, just psychological safety. Making sure that everyone is on the same page, nobody's being hurt in any way. And one of the things you mentioned is compatibility, right? So we have a frame that's called OIL, and we match for openness, interest, and libido. And those things have to be functionally matched to create a long-term partnership. So if somebody has very high libido and their partner has a very low libido, you can make that up with a little bit of openness. But again, if somebody's super, super open and the other partner is not, that's going to cause a lot of psychological, emotional pain. Right. So we work with that and seeing what can go up on one, down on the other to create a functional matching.
And it has to be asked, what's the goal of this company, Velvet Ties? What does the future look like? And for that, we go back to Daniella Guimaraes for the answer.
It's easy to sign up on our website. It's velvetties.com. Or you can just email me directly at DG for Daniella Guimaraes, my first and last name, DG@velvetties.com. The clients themselves, I've gotten even better feedback than I've expected. We've been working on it for about a year, but we did our official launch party just about a week or two ago. And wow, it was an amazing experience for everyone. Everyone was super happy. And even for me, I was mind blown.